Good morning, my friends. Welcome to the ABoC Studio Buzz podcast. Doug is my name, and I am coming to you from beautiful and very hot Albuquerque. Not yet too hot. I got the door open. I'm sitting upstairs, and it's still pretty nice, but that won't last. But it's okay because you're not here for the weather. I made a thing in a day. What the heck? Do you believe that? I am not believing it myself. Really, this is absolutely crazy. I have made this top. The story is that I have been feeding my head with crochet ideas in the past 2 to 3 weeks because I wanted to make something. I do want to make something. I want to make more. And I've watched video tutorials. I went through my magazines. I went through things that I had already copied out of magazines previously. I looked at Instagram suggestions, and then in the end I finally settled, and I will show you a picture of this beautiful soul young woman whose tutorial I ended up choosing as my first crochet inspiration and my first crochet tutorial that I wanted to use. And I'm skipping on her name. I think she said her name, but the channel name is ABoC Studio, and I will indeed link that for you for a change. I normally don't link stuff, but in this case I will take the time to do that because it turned out so cute. Look at it, and I can't believe it myself that I have made this thing in a day, one day, including weaving in all the ends. And you need to know that I did pull out all of my cotton yarn also as a visual stimulation to figure out something that I will make. And of course, I'm thinking of my daughter. I'm not sure how much I will indeed wear this, and I know I'm not. She's gotten into wearing more colors, where before it was like, do you want me to make you something? Yeah, black or white? No, thank you. So I don't know. She said she likes more colors, so I will see what she thinks about this when she has seen it. She hasn't seen it so far, I think. Yeah, I'm so excited about this, and that's why I had to come on today. So what I did is I worked with the instructions that the young woman gives for size medium. And I chose to switch my colors around, and you do the cast on edge at the top with a 7mm hook, and then you switch to a 5mm hook. And yeah, all of that I did. And the sizing, even though I did not swatch, I don't even think there is a gauge suggestion. I just went for it. I think my yarns were indeed DK cotton yarn bits as she has used in her top that she does the video tutorial with. Yeah, and I switched the colors around just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit, and I am so excited about this. I think it's really cute. I do have a dress that I thought would be perfect underneath, but it doesn't fit me anymore. So here's one that has a pattern, but I think it works because it's not too colorful versus the top. that is this. And what else is finished? I have a pair of double knit socks done. And that's the ones that I showed you last time, or I showed you one sock and I finished the second one. And I am using 2 strands of commercial sock yarn. In this case, actually, one of the strands was a hand-dyed yarn that had been gifted to me by a friend in Germany, and I'm glad I finally used it. I did start another pair of socks with what I had left. I think I had left about 65-ish grams of that ball of hand-dyed yarn, and I have started a pair of socks with 2.5 millimeter needles, and I forgot them downstairs, but you will see those. I just did the beginning. I have since started another pair of double knit socks, and I have finished one of them. Isn't that so happy? I love the colors. Yeah. And that's another one that's my size, 39 European. So I did them exactly as this, like 7 rounds for the 2x2 rib, and then 13 rounds for the leg, 20 rows for the heel flap before I shape the, what's it called? The cap. Yeah. And I have, oh no, come back. You needle you. And I have done the second one. I thought I would at least finish the gusset on these yesterday, because that's where I stopped 2 days ago. But then came my top in a day. And so these have been waiting for me. And what I did in this case, and what I usually do, I use one color or one strand that I can use throughout the whole sock, so that I don't have too many ends to weave in. And then I add on something. In this case, I started off with a little ball of orange, and right now I am using this, which is orange and pink. And when I will just use this up, and then I will switch to this one, which is very similar. And all of these yarns are leftovers from my mom's socks. And in case you wonder, this is 22 grams. So I had 2 of these. They were already divided up, and the rest was, how much was the rest? I will have to look that up for you, but it's really, I think if you don't make your socks too tall, you're totally fine with a total weight of 50 grams. 22. I had one, the first one was 3 grams. That's 25. Watch me do some simple math. 25 and 8 and 9 or so, and 55. Yeah. 40 even, probably. Oh, yes. Actually, this ball, the one that I used for the other sock, that's what was left of that. That's not much, right? Just a gram or 2. Yeah. that's the way it's supposed to be. So I'm glad to know that this is how it works. So 22 grams for a size 39, which is probably 8.5 US, for one strand is enough. Yes, and those were my socks, my double knit socks. And I have continued on the little cardigan for my goddaughter. And I am using 8mm needles for these. I didn't mention for these guys I'm using 3.5mm needles and 4 times 12 stitches. I'm a tight knitter. If you are not, you may be able to go down to 4 times 12 stitches. Keep that in mind. Or you go down a needle size, because to have your socks densely knitted is a good thing, because then they don't wear through that quickly. Back to the cardigan. I was holding together a ball of Noro wool yarn with fuzzy leftovers like Lana Grossa Pep. But I ran out unexpectedly. That was a generous yardage, and still I ran out of the Noro skein, which was not a problem because I knew I was going to be able to use this yarn. I will put on the screen, unless I find it next to me. Hold on a second. Well, let me just show you first. So this is what I'm using right now. Very similar in weight, and also a singles yarn, and also it changes color. So I thought this is going to be a perfect replacement for the Noro yarn, and I think, where did I switch yarns? Somewhere down here. So there's not a lot missing. I'm just going to do a little bit of where I ended with pink. So we have this one coming back on the bottom the way it does at the end of the sleeves. And then I will do a button band also with pink. And then, yeah, this is also one thing where I thought I may finish that yesterday, but alas, no, didn't happen. Let's see if I find, yes, I thought I was being good and saving the labels. Oh yes, that's right. This is where my Noro leftover went. And you see there was indeed a bit of a leftover there, but I don't know, would have been maybe enough for 3 or 4 rows, but I did not want to. I wanted to end it here with this and not use this. And this is the yarn, the label, and let me read you the name so I don't tell you the wrong thing. Goddaughter. 100 grams have 270 meters. So that's even more in yards. And the other one is, I can't tell you the color, and I would not know if that's still in production, because I feel like I got this at some point for a deep discount. Got to probably, I feel like I had several different colorways, and one of them was this, and this is made by Cascade Yarns, and the content of this yarn is 60 wool, 20 silk, and 20 mohair, whereas the Noro yarn was 100% wool. And this one was also a little bit too dull for me, but this was the one that still had the tag, and the other one, but I knew it was the same yarn. Yeah. Very excited to get this one done. And then I had bubbles in my head, as you can tell, with all these ideas. Like I said, I had pulled out all my cotton yarns, my cotton yarn stash, and it was sitting downstairs by the fireplace. And what happened was that, you know, every time I walked by, I was thinking, or even where I sit at night when we watch a movie or something, it was right in my view. So I kept thinking, oh, it was encouraging to make something. And I realized I have a bunch of yarns in larger amounts. So now it was kind of good to sort through it all. So I have those and all the larger amounts for possibly a cardigan or something, or whatever else I come up with. But I also found another larger amount of a yarn that I had where I had a project in mind, and then I started something different, but now I would like to get back to the original plan. And this yarn is called Sol Dégradé by Lang Yarns. It's a ribbon yarn, and it's a kind of like a hollow tube, the construction knitted. And it's funny because when I knit with this, it feels firm, like it doesn't have any give, but when it's knitted up, it has a lot of give. And so while I did start my new project, I will rip it out, but I brought it because I wanted to show you. I have 4 balls of this, and I don't even know if this is still available. I know even my yarn store here carried it, but I bought it in Shawl in my hometown in Germany. And I think it's 100%. Yes, it's 100% cotton. And this is all the color. Oh, I'm not even going to bother telling you this. So I thought, well, it's a vest. It will be a vest. It will become this vest, which is out of a magazine. And the magazine is called Stricktrends. And it's German. I don't think they have this in the States, but it's an inspiration, I thought. So I wanted to show you. So with the gauge that they have with this, I thought, wow, what I'm using, my 5mm needles, that won't work out. So I went up to 7, and I think 7 is what they use in the original instructions. But look at what happened. Watch it. So back to 5mm it is. This was very funny. I kept going and I kept thinking, this looks large. Yeah. So I don't know. I may not even start this again because I feel like right now I'm in the phase where I'm like, either I'm going to do more crochet and I have a bunch of ideas, but I've also, I feel like I want to finish a few things, and we have a big vacation planned where we will go to Canada. And I have looked at the weather, and it's interesting because temperatures can jump a lot. So I'm thinking that even on a warmer day where during daytime it's warm, it's probably maybe going to cool down substantially at night. I don't know. I mean, I've been to Canada, but I was thinking I should bring one of my sweater projects for that trip. Yeah. So, and as you know, I have a bunch of shawls that I'm working on, and I am hosting the Desert Sun KAL 2024. And the only requirement is for you to have a project on Ravelry, because I feel like this beautiful pattern deserves a lot of projects on Ravelry, and it had only one when I first started looking at it. So here's where I am right now. Yes, I love it. Yeah, nothing to say, nothing bad to say. I think I'm using 3.5 millimeter needles. I am using a lot of Zia Wool's Roadrunner, some of it in the original color, some of it over dyed. And hold on. Okay, I'm back. And yeah, I'm using mainly Zia Wool's Roadrunner, like I said, and some, like this one, I wound off a partial skein and overdyed it, blah, blah, blah. All this I have talked about at length in the past 2 episodes. I don't want to bore you today, but I, of course, wanted to show it to you again. I'm not sure where I was last time. Somewhere. I think I may have just started with this juicy stripe here. Yes. And talking about Zia Wool's yarns, my shop is stocked. But while I had planned to do a shop update video, I will not do it now, because we will be headed out of town for a short trip where I will not be able to ship, of course. And so I think I'm gonna film that video when I'm back to show you all these pretty colors. Yes, and that's it. That is what I have been working on since we saw each other last, and I hope in the meantime you are enjoying this start into summer, and I hope you're having some beautiful projects on your needles and making some really pretty things, as we do, right? We use some yarns that we love, and we make the things that we also love. And oh my goodness, one more thing. I told you about the Desert Sun KAL, but there's also a KAL for vanilla socks that is hosted, that's running on Instagram. And so the hashtag is Strickt Stinos KAL 2024. I think this may be the 4th or so. 4th time they're doing this. My 2 friends Nina and Melanie are the hosts. Okay, but now I'm really going to say goodbye. All right, you take care. Happy knitting. Bye.